hoping that we could come into something somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
But and everything's small. It's all like 140s, 160s.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing real good and big.
Yeah, it's weird. Weird deer.
Yeah.
They had an easy winter last year too. You'd think they'd be giants.
Everybody's educating them too,
Yeah.
right? Everybody's smarter than they ever were before. Everybody's also calling to them like crazy, which just trains them.
Right.
The more you call to them things, the more they get trained, and then that's not going to work no more.
Yeah.
And two, with everyone chasing them, that makes them wild too. You know, Vermont deer and like Pittsburgh, New Hampshire deer, right? Pittsburgh's the first place to get snow. Mount Washington, Pittsburgh, and the Kennebagos.
Yeah.
First places to get snow in New England. So everyone runs there the second there's snow, and they put the pressure to them deer, and then pretty quick they're 200 yards behind a tree, boom, you know, they're gone. No. And then once they get in that routine of they hear anything, they're gone. Well, they'll just get more and more wild. But that's good for them in a way, because now they'll smarten up and they'll actually live a little bit longer. You know, which you need them. You need some way of getting them to live a little longer.
Right.
But
get old and dumb, but right now they're not young and dumb.
yeah, right. Oh yeah, like the dumbest deer you see are the fawns. You know, and even there, when mom's fairly old and she's been pressured a fair amount and she teaches them, let's go, and they learn that pretty quick. They're all pretty wild. You know, I bet I put a Vermont deer up here and he'd probably live forever. Like, they get a good training because they get hunted by some of the best people anywhere. And then they've got their head down. They don't ever stick their nose out, and when anything's wrong, they're gone. They get one molecule up their nose and they're gone. Like, they know. They just don't mess around. And that extra pressure, and especially a circulating pressure all the time, now they'll hate roads. They'll want to stay in the brush and the crap all the time. You won't be able to get them out. They'll be big rabbits. You know, they'll go in circles and just hide from everybody and just keep their head down. And then everything at night too. Do all the moving around at night when they feel comfortable.
My uncle trucks water for Poland Springs, and he's on Route 16 3 or 4 times a day. He's like, you don't see a deer after 6:30 in the morning, but before that, they are everywhere.
Yeah.
Big ones too.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. They're here.
Yeah.
The things are here.
Yeah. He sent me one of them. That thing had to have a rack 25 inches wide. That thing was huge.
Yeah.
But he's like, I've never seen one.
Right. They're in that garbage. And one-on-one in that 30-yard garbage, they nail you. They get you every time. You kick one little stick at 100 yards, and now they'll stand there for 15 minutes. And when something twitches, when they... Oh, definitely.
Stand there an hour, no food.
Got nowhere to go. They're just at home. Same as a moose.
Yeah.
They'll sit there in their bed and look at you, and there's always that one cow, and she goes... And every bull that's with her goes, uh-oh, she's on something. And the big ones in the back are already starting to sneak out. And as soon as he even says, ooh, maybe we ought to go, they all head. And you can't even, like, keep filming them or nothing. And the cows that have calves are all away from the main groups, way out in the bushes somewhere. You know, they get over there with their calf, and they don't want the ruckus of the, you know, leftover breeding and the bulls knocking horns. They don't want that with their calf, so they want to be left alone. And the, you know, the north side, the oddball side of the mountain, where there's a little feed and there's not too many people, that's where the cow and calf are. We've only seen one cow with twins. I've only seen one with twins. The rest of them are all singles. Or no calves at all. You know, they lost them, ticks or whatever, you know, but...
We saw a lot of moose the Forks area.
Yeah.
We saw a lot.
Yeah. The calving rate, I think, is better. The collar die-off wasn't as bad. They had like 90% collar calves die last year. And this year, I think it's a lot better, but... And Vermont was in the 60%, so that was better, but there's plenty of food.
What are you guys from?
Northfield, and he's orange.
Yep.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. But stinking smoke stick.
I love them, but I hate them.
Same.
idea of it. I really like it.
There's like a love-hate relationship for sure.
That's exactly. It's a little wet, you know, you get the snow or you walk through some shit, you get freaking snow all over it, you try to get it off or it melts.
You worry about it a little bit. Yeah, every now and then. Although they're way better than they ever used to be. That old number 11 percussion cap, my God, was that a piece of junk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty old. I don't even know how old it is. I gotta prove.
Yeah. Yeah. As long as you hit and you know your gun, you're good to go. And most of the time you're fine anyway. But it's that second or third shot that you might need. Because they're so slow and heavy, they just poke a hole in them. And unless you hit some bone, it don't really shock all that much. So they don't leak that much. And it might just go in and stop on the carpet on the other side and not go through. And now you got an entrance hole and that's it. You know, having snow in a late muzzle is good because now you can follow it for a ways. And a lot of times the thing's dead, you know, but like on bare ground, you might not have found it.
Right. Or in the rain.
Yeah, yeah.
Forget about that.
Right, right.
Pretty fat fawn.
But they're pretty reliable. You get that new powder now and stuff. It's pretty fast, and hollow point bullet helps, and a lot of that stuff, you know, is way better than it ever used to be.
Trying the Federal Warlock 270s.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
They're accurate as all hell.
Yep.
I haven't put one in an animal yet, but
Right.
I'm trying them out.
Yep. That Patriot like shoots almost any kind of ammo. Like it didn't matter. It was all in the line. No matter what kind of, I've tried like 5 different kinds of ammo and they were all in the line, and it was top to bottom was off just because of the weight.
Yeah.
You know, if you had different grains.
Right.
But other than that, wow, I was amazed at how like it liked any kind of ammo. And a lot of muzzleloaders are fussy and they only like certain things. But damn things, I don't know. It's just I don't like shooting it and then you have to mess around reloading in order to finish it off or something.
Right.
That part of it just ain't so humane. I don't care about that. I don't like that. Bang.
Yeah.
Just if you're gonna kill something, just kill it. You know?
And then it's never fun tracking them for 4 miles either.
No, like I don't want to do that. I want them dead. If you're gonna kill something, just kill it. But I don't know. Casey wants to come back and try for that beast that he filmed there, you know. And we've been looking for him, but we can't seem to nail him. And he might have come from 10 miles away. Might not even live around there and might be gone, you know. But boy, that thing had a beautiful rack on it. Oh, that was a big one. That was a big one. Yo, yeah. Yep. But
Too bad he didn't have the better camera.
yeah,
Been so dark.
yeah, he didn't take the big one. He had the power shot, and the power shot doesn't like low light. And it was good light, but as soon as you zoom up, it gets dark. And it was first thing in the morning, and the thing comes right in on his backtrack.
Was it Sunday or something?
Yeah, it
he
was
went
a
out on a
Sunday.
Sunday morning.
Yeah, we were all sleeping in. And he's like, "Mom, I'm up early. I'll go for a walk."
Yeah.
He comes back. I get up at 7. He comes back in, and he's like, "I got you some film." And I'm like, "What?" And he says, "I just filmed a giant right out here." I'm like, "Really?" He says, "Yeah, let's watch it. Taylor's gonna like this."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, what a buck. And he does that anyway. He's yeah, and he's chill about it, and it just, yeah.
I found myself getting a lot less wound up. I get excited, but I don't, you know, like, oh my crap. After you shoot a couple nice ones, it kind of,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, you thinking,
Yeah.
everything's smoother.
Yeah. And also too, like when you screw up a couple of big ones, and then, you know, stay calm up to here, right? And from then on, you can freak out. Like you're standing over it, now you can get excited, right? Until then, it ain't happened yet, so stay in tune.
You pull the trigger, that's when the work starts.
Beeves the same way now too.
Yeah, yeah.
He just, and he's got, he's got a Timony trigger instead of 14-pound pole, so he can shoot. And
That gun hits stuff. Yeah. And they're all good shots. They all can shoot really good. I put 1 million rounds of 22 through them. Here's a brick. Here's a brick. Here's a brick. Here's some more. Just shoot until you're bored with it.
Back when they were friggin'
Oh, yeah.
bucks a brick.
Oh yeah, and I just put it right to them, and I also made them like cover up their sights and stuff. Just point and shoot, point and shoot. Don't use the sights. Just take the gun and shoot, and just shoot it. And after a while, they had done that so much that they just don't even have to. It's good, you know.
My boy's 6, and he can't wait to get out in the woods, but it lasts about 30 minutes, then he can't wait to get out of the woods.
Well, sure, right, yeah,
I get it.
yeah, oh yeah,
He watched me shoot a doe this year, and he was pumped.
yeah.
He was more pumped than I was. That was cool to me.
Right,
That was,
yeah, oh yeah.
everybody in his school knows that I killed a doe.
I bet. That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And then when they later on they'll fall in love with it or they won't, in one way or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so if it's okay either way and not too much pressure. There's a whole bunch of them that'll be into it when they're teenagers and then get 18, 19, 20 and they're like, eh, and girls or jobs or whatever. And then later on, like 20, 25, 28, all of a sudden back into it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And like everybody crying, oh, there's a lot of people or whatever, but there's a lot of woods. There's a lot of woods. You could put 200 people up here.
Though. They go to the easiest spots, and those are the spots I want to go to.
Right. And of course, they all run into each other. You know, and in a very little while after they've all run into each other, the next day there ain't a soul there. They all go somewhere else. Yeah.
I'm in 16, and I ain't never seen that with so many hunters.
Mm-hmm.
It's a doe permits. They gave out like over 10,000 doe permits this year for 16.
Oh yeah.
So everybody's headed there from wherever.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's that many deer?
I guess.
Right.
I don't know. I've seen probably 9 or 10 doe this year.
Oh wow.
One spike
Yeah.
alive.
Right. That's a lot. Ratio wise, that's a lot. Even though like some of the does you see are not does, they're button bucks
Right.
or something. So like, they're not always what you see, but
Antlerless. Use that word.
yes. Right. Right. But up here, I've been amazed at like there's a lot of buck tracks per doe tracks. There's quite a few younger bucks, which you need more button bucks than any other kind of buck. Then 1.5s, then 2.5s, right? The button bucks have to be the most numerous buck on the landscape. If they become a small amount, then 3 years from now, you won't be able to find a 3-year-old.
Right.
You have to have more button bucks than anything else. So that's good.
Right.
And
Younger bucks do the most breeding.
Oh, sure. Well, they're the most numerous. Yeah. Yeah.
No matter if he's 10 or 2.
That's right. Yeah.
long as he got
His
the same
genes.
genes.
Right. It doesn't change with age. Yeah. But it's the selection part of it does a little bit. Because a doe will say, I don't like you. A lot of cows are that way. You watch like one cow in heat with 4 or 5 different bulls, and she picks some medium one and didn't like the big one. And she hangs out in front of him, and he's rubbing his beard all over her back, and hey. And she's like, yeah, I like you, come with me, and lead him around a little bit, and then they all follow. But it goes to show that they are the gatekeeper.
That's every.
Yep. Proven countless times.
We're all the same.
All connected. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Coyotes and quite a few cats. I think the cats get them a little wound up too. Cats are a pretty formidable thing, and moose is.
Cat will kill a small deer.
Yeah, and even moose don't like the cats. They're off they go. There's something about them.
Need more trappers.
Well, they're here, right? Ain't the end of the world, but a lot of people want to hate on it, and like truthfully, it's good to kind of stay after everything a little bit, even though like trying to wipe it out is dumb, right? But
There's regulations.
for now, if we fall out of love with logic, we're screwed. Right? What's logical? Like annihilate them all and they make more. Well, that's probably not logical. right? To try and annihilate them all if they just make more. Right? At some point, you got to work with what is. Nature's got some laws, right? Gravity applies. When it's cold, you put a hat on. Some things matter, right? And you can't ignore it. It's a natural law you can't ignore. But one person hating on them and the next person hating on the hater, just dumb.
When I was doing the course there, I just did it a month ago, and the guy running the course, he was saying that you got to watch what you put online because everybody's online now.
Mm-hmm.
So one person might take the picture one way, and then another person might take the picture another way, and that person's going to tell all their friends about how nasty it is, and people are terrible. And
Oh yeah.
It's the same thing with hunters,
Oh sure.
right?
Right. Oh definitely.
You want to clean them up, make them look pretty.
Right.
Before you post plastic pictures all over the place.
Right.
Snot and blood hanging out of their face, all blown in their heads and stuff like that. You don't.
You don't want to run a totally defensive game, but you don't want to be too offensive either. You know, because that's kind of in your face. People do that with all their other stuff too. You know, they're in your face about it. You know, which shouldn't be, but everybody's different. Everybody does stuff different, and most of it's set up around haters anyway.
Right. My mom hates hunting because that's all my grandfather ever did. So
Too much.
she just
Yeah.
relates it to
Mhm.
all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It requires a lot,
It
and especially this is the hardest place there is to do it. It takes a lot. You need a lot of time, a lot of energy, and there's a lot that goes into it. And most people would never understand it, much less go along with it, because they just don't know what you do to go through to get it.
You do what? Are you stupid?
Oh yeah.
Kind of a little bit. Part of me is, I think.
Yeah, the 15th time you got snow down your neck, and you're crawling through brush for miles. Jeez. After a while, you're like, why am I doing it?
Yeah. You ain't got a deer yet? What a waste of time. It's like, maybe.
Being in the woods is never a waste of time for me.
No.
I'd live in the woods if they let me.
That view from the top is something, and the mountains make you earn it, and not everyone wants to do that.
Yep.
And it's not a bad thing. Somebody wants to shoot, yeah, they want to shoot one out of a tree stand, good, nothing wrong with that.
Tell them how terrible it is. They lied.
Exactly. Right. That's what life's about, is kind of doing what you want, but not at someone else's expense, right? For the most part.
My favorite part about muzzleloader is less people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bird hunters are all Peter now. They don't want to cut.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah, F-35, take us out now. Putin just showed up. We used to have quite a few jets when you first started coming up here practice. This was their range up here, and they come up and
That
fly
thing sounds
around.
low.
Oh yeah, we've had a few of them come right over. You could count the rivets. Well, I was on top of Spotted Mountain down in Rangeley, and that thing 135 come right over the tops of the trees. You could count the rivets. I stood there and I'm like, what in the, it sounded like a train going by me at 20 feet. I'm like, what is that? And then vroom, right over my head, and Donnell's like, oh my God. This is Holland. They're right here.
Been up on Spotted on sleds years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if the trail's still good up there.
Shot a lot of nice deer off that area right there. Mike Poulin did too years and years ago. Shot a lot of them there.
My grandfather's from right
Oh yeah,
there. Bit of root up there.
yeah, yeah. And if somebody cares about it, it's nice to have people care about it a little bit. You gotta. I don't know how else to get people to care about it, aside from a few hikers that want to walk up on top of mountains. How do you get anyone to care about mountains and what happens to them?
Right.
Or be able to even relate to
I
it.
think loggers use them, and then they think the loggers are bad because they're destroying them.
Right. right, next year there's 10 billion stems. Right, you can wipe it all out and cut it all and not even leave a raspberry bush, which they do, and no one says a word. Right, you can cut 500 acres flat, not even a single raspberry bush left.
Yeah. Next year they're 6 feet tall, and that's all you got to walk through.
Right, you killed one tree, what's the matter with you? It's like, yeah, okay. Yeah. But it is what it is, you know. It is a beautiful place, and it's nice to be able to go to it, and I don't know how else to get anybody to love it. You have to be able to interact with it, you know. But and it's not forever.
Quite the following on the YouTubes. So
Jeez,
doing pretty good there.
it's been crazy. I bet you $1 billion are all flat. Oh, the ice was thick, big, solid chunks of ice that thick.
One breeze and they're
Oh
all
yeah,
like
yeah,
a field.
oh yeah. And you had some
warm up.
wind. We're supposed to get some wind. If they ain't down, they're all gonna be. There was big 16 and 18 inches, bent right over 30 degrees. They were all gonna fall. Everything up there was coming down. And if we get wind, it will. If it isn't down now, that whole top will be down soon.
Fucking shit uprooted everywhere.
Yeah, everything was uprooted and tipped over. There was a root ball every 50 yards in every direction, everywhere. The whole top was history. It is history.
Yeah, weather's pretty crazy.
But that's people. Kendall Gray gets out a BMG 50 cal and shoots a doe.
Right?
And oh my, no, he shoots right through the chest. Beautiful heart shot. And pow, and she stayed kind of on her feet and then ran 70 yards. Right? And bazooka. I mean, a 50 cal is a bazooka. My God. Wow.
We're gonna lug it around with you.
I would have thought it just dropped it right in his tracks, but if she ran.
And nobody gave him any shit.
Right?
I laugh at it. Like,
That doe I shot, 100 pounds, 450 Bushmaster, right through the heart. The heart looked like somebody put it in a blender, and she went 30 yards.
Yep. Strong. Oh, they're strong. Whitetails are so strong. You hit a caribou in the foot and it lays down. Like, it just goes, oh, and lays down. Oh, yeah. They ain't anywhere near as rugged as a whitetail. Whitetails are something about them. I've had a whole bunch of them, my Magnum, and quartering towards me and shoot them right in the scapula, right in the bone. Boom! And they soak that thing up and turn around and run off like you never touched them. Like, I've had some deer soak up some bullets, but most of the time, they're dead.
They're going far.
No. But I've seen a whole bunch run off with smaller guns. Youth models, a guy said. I'm tired of using this youth model. And I'm like, yeah, that is a youth model. And you want them dead. You know, and there's a certain amount of video that works, and there's a certain amount that doesn't. And you have to be kind of careful, you know. But it is what it is. There will be people that will not like stuff, and there'll be a ton that do. And, you know, when our town plow guy wants to quit his job because one woman came down and gave him a whole rash of shit, and it's not even his route, and he's laying under a truck and the salt is dripping on him because he's trying to fix a hydraulic line, and she's blah, 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 blah. And later on, he's telling me this story as he stopped in front of my house with a plow truck, and we're talking. And I said, you know how many tens of thousands of people that you work for every day that appreciate what you do every day? That's right. So forget her. She's a no good. And just remember the tens of thousands of people that liked what you did do. Right? That's the part that really matters.
The linemen been eating it up with all these storms too.
Oh boy.
Where's my power?
Yeah.
Been out for 4.5 days. Whoa, they're working on it.
Yeah, and it's dangerous.
You live in the Northeast, go buy a fucking generator.
Yeah, a truck.
It's the same with the vehicles. They want the black roads bare in a snowstorm. It's like, buy a freaking rig that can drive through it.
I pushed some little teeny bopper out of the ditch the other day. She had little pony skins on her car. And I'm like, where's your dad? Like, why is he not up your ass about getting new tires on this thing? That's how my parents were.
Yeah.
Trucks, brakes ready to
if your rig is valuable, you put an insurance policy on the round things. That's right, and it keeps it valuable. Yeah. Oh yeah. So it is what it is. That's just people. They do what they do, have fun, and some it works, some it don't. 20% know what they're doing, 20% don't. 20% cry and 20% laugh. Like, everybody's different. I never met so many people though. My God. And like, it's humbling. It really is, that so many people would go for it, you know. And you'll get those people that'll jump in over their head and then afterwards say, ooh, I should have listened.
It's 12 years old and it still got the same scratches it had when it was up here new.
Nice one in this yesterday. I was trying to get up in that road. It wasn't plowed. It was a little humbling.
Yeah.
I'm gonna park by the road.
We were the same
Worth
way
the
up
walk.
here. The snow's getting deep, and I ain't that far through. And she starts chattering, and I said, "You know what? We get out of here while we still can." It don't take long when you're in the deep snow, up high, and it's icy, and you get off the track, and then it's just murally, and she just don't want to go.
This road must be wind blown off or something. There's not a whole lot of snow.
No, even up high there
You get a
ain't.
little bit higher, and it don't take long to add up.
You come to the three-way kind of fork at the top up there, and that's where it gets deep. From there up through, oh, it gets deep.
2,000 feet up.
Yeah, when you turn to go right to the tower, right there, that's when we were like, nope, back down. Yeah, and there's probably nothing up there anyway. And if there is, it's only one, and he'll go down and then hook right back up in there because he loves it anyway. And then you're screwed anyway.
My thing's always like, if I get a deer up here, I am fucked. Because I do most of my stuff by myself.
Yeah,
Because
or
the guy I hunt with wants to do this type of
you fall in a hole,
Yeah.
you are screwed. Like, you get a leg stuck in something and you get it so you can't walk. All you gotta do is fall and hit your head on a rock, right? That's all it takes. One little bump. Yeah. And like, if you don't have somebody that would at least be able to track you and find you under whatever circumstances, the following day, you're going to be there at least 12 hours or 24 hours before everybody really gets on it. Most search and rescue, the big stuff, it takes 24 hours to get everybody there, to get real people there that are really knowing what they're doing. And you almost need like a fast squad of 2 or 3 really good trackers, and they find your rig and then they track you down and find you, you know.
And
that's
then
almost what you need.
Half the fast squad people ain't qualified to do any of it. We've had a guy lost, and they all stayed on the road while we were freaking.
Yeah, we
went in
found
and
him.
got him.
Yeah, like most search and rescue